Now, why? Not really trying to be like the black pilled or something, but I mean, why embrace the decline? Okay, so if you're watching what's really going on with the BRICS nations, so the BRICS currency, this isn't going to pan out for like a decade. This isn't going to, like, there's not going to be real solid trade with so many of the BRICS nations that the BRICS currency is going to be something that you could like put up international collateral, and stuff, that there will be reserves of these currencies and stuff. That's not going to happen for probably about another 10 years. And key to it is the demographic demise. This is the issue that while, I made those 2 videos about how the right was ahead of this 10 years ago. The right knew about demographic demise a decade ago and was talking about it and was openly mocked by people who are socialists. Like the Vaush type crowd were mocking it because they were quite certain that all of their data that they supposedly had about this crushing number of people was true. Now, key to this, where did the left get this data that there was going to be so many people that we were going to just be buried in people? One of the key things was data from China. China's population data has lots of problems. So, like, millions of women appeared in China, over about a decade, just appeared. They just suddenly came out of the sea foam, that there was just suddenly way more women in China than anyone knew. And it was because they had falsified birth records. China sort of is amazingly corrupt. It's sort of like they're amazing at kung fu. They have amazing tea. their ancient bronze work, amazing. A brazier from the Tang era, amazing. And the corruption, they're the best. They're the best. Eastern Europeans probably are like, now that's fucking embezzlement. Like sometimes when you hear about the kinds of crimes that people commit in China, that you're like, do you really make money committing a crime like that? And it's like, no, when you're that poor, any money you can save, So the BRICS nations, ASEAN, the relationship between the nations in ASEAN is also tenuous because of China and the Communist Party. The Communist Party of Vietnam is like, oh no, fuck you, Communist Party of China. You're gonna fuck us up the ass the first chance you get. So they don't trust each other. So ASEAN, the BRICS nations, none of these nations can really trust each other. None of them can trust China. And China is the linchpin of so much of it, because Russia really is not doing as well as they want everyone to think they are. Theirs is tenuous as well, because of the nature of what was left over from the Soviet Union, having all these sort of colonies of Russians in other countries that now have sometimes returned, sometimes they're still there. And then peoples who are from all over the former Soviet Union that are in the major city, that are in the major centers, population centers of present day Russia. Like an example of this would be, you'll hear a name now and then, Dorjiev. Dorjiev is the Russified version of the Tibetan name Dorje, which is the Tibetan word for Vajra. And so that's a name it comes out of the monks. So you'll find old pictures from the 1920s of the Tibetan School of Medicine in Moscow, run by Dr. Dorjiev. So the people don't know the Soviet Union was the most diverse sort of empire ever. And so when it comes to Russia supposedly having this amazing potential, The problem is they're still dealing with what is Russia. As most of the people on the right, oh, by the way, Katahan Institute's channel yeeted, and because that's dumb. If you want to know what the Russians think, you should probably know what the Russians think. But the Katahan Institute channel, he pointed out like what Dugin was up to a great extent, was a thing that a lot of Russian scholars are up to. What is it to be Russian? When you have people from like fundamentally 20 different ethnicities, but they're all technically in some way Russian. So, yeah. And so this idea that, no, things, all people have to do is re-traditionalize and this, that, and the other, it's going to be another, like, almost 100 years. It won't be until probably about an upcoming 30 or 40 years that's going to be really, really nasty. And my reflection on it is, when they say that a 30 years war, something similar to the 30 years war is very likely, I think that's correct. I think that the build up to something like the 30 years war right now is real. I really think there's a generation of older people that just kind of hate the kids and want to just exploit them. I wish I had evidence to the contrary, but especially it seems the more rich and powerful and old, they just like, hey, I had to pay my dues, now, we get to exploit the young, and so, yeah, that's from what I'm seeing, so, I'm just, at this point, I'm like at that, not black-pilled, but just like being real about it. I'm gonna have to embrace it. It's not, this isn't gonna be fun, no fun in games, like the punk rock song, no fun. It's no fun. So, and this is all, if you want it like this, it can keep going like this. For the young people who you're so mad at the abortion, why are you taking my abortion, and you want to make me worship your Jesus and blah blah blah. It's like, or maybe you can just not want to die in a giant war. I mean, we'll totally be cool with you being whatever religion you want, as long as you vote for somebody who doesn't want war. How about that? How about just trying that one first? But we'll see. I guess we'll see. But it's just that more and more I'm just like, no. I got to see a lot of people, doing the sports ball thing. I'm just kind of like, yeah. Won't matter until it's bad. Won't matter to people until it's really bad. And then it will matter. Then, and I mean, even me, I'm not really doing, I'm not every day, like, braiding paracord, and stuff, and wrapping my knives and things like that. Oh, God damn it. Goddamn internet. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later.